Hey, what's up, everybody? You're watching On the Town with Tanya, and I'm here with one of my favorite guests who's back again this week with me. She is the author of Unbreakable Me, Elizabeth Graybill. Please say hello to my guest. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us again this week. I appreciate you. I wanted you to come back because I'm reading your book, and there's just so many good pieces in here. But one particular piece I wanted to talk to you about is how family. When we think about addiction, right? And many of you, I don't know if some of you know this, but I used to be an addiction specialist. Elizabeth is, I call you a specialist. You know,
I'm the
hello.
special person.
Well, I'm special too. You're not getting all the credit here. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. But family always plays a role when it comes to addiction. And you've been in recovery for a while, um, and many people have. But what they find is sometimes when you've come out of rehab and you've done all the work that you need to do, you ask for the forgiveness. You still have people I call that do something what I call they hold you hostage. And that's like they just don't allow you to ever forget your past. Um, and so I wanted you here today just to speak a bit about that, and maybe we can help other people figure out how to move forward. And when you get what I call hostage takers, your family and your friends, like, oh, you took my pocketbook 20 years ago. I can't believe you did that. It's like, girl, that was 20 years ago. I do not take pocketbooks unless they're Gucci. Now,
Yeah, right. Okay.
funny. We're just funny. But you get what I'm saying? I'm like,
Oh Lord, yes.
stop the Target bags. No.
Is it worth any money? No, just kidding.
What's the word? No, I'm joking, but we are serious
Yes.
because we have to joke about this because it can be very distressing. I had a friend tell me once, my family just never believes me. They just never believe anything I said. And I said, well, how long has it been? He's like, it's been 8 years. I was like, 8 years? It sounds like they got a problem. They need to go into what do you call? I call it family recovery. The therapy piece.
Well, you know what? And I used to think that too. I used to think that, once I stopped doing what I was doing, that everybody should embrace me now and love me because I'm not robbing you anymore
Right.
and whatever, right? And that's not the way it works. And unfortunately, we leave scars and we leave a lot of wreckage behind. And when you're a person who has been in recovery for years and years and years, you are more like, people kind of know you as the liar, you're the storyteller,
right?
You're the I'll be back and never show up for like 4 or 5 days and stuff like that. So, when people are so used to seeing you in this one place, it's very hard for them to accept the fact that maybe you have changed, right? Because to the contrary, we have shown them nothing different for 30 years, right? So we have, made those promises. We have, promised to do the right thing. We promised to stop getting high. We promised to, stop selling our food stamps. We promised to stop, to start paying our rent and stuff like that. And like we were never consistent. So, it leaves a mark on family, and it makes it harder for them to honestly believe that, people change. Because I think that when you don't understand addiction, that you don't understand that it's a sickness.
Yes.
I think that a lot of people that don't have a good understanding of it believe that, it's almost impossible for us to change, right? Because again, like I said, our history has been, what it's been, whatever horrible picture we had left them with, that's the picture that they still see. And so, it was a hard lesson one for me to sort of like try to navigate through that, with my own family, because I have to understand their pain is real too, right?
Right.
Their trauma is real too. So instead of saying, I don't understand why you don't love me or why you can't accept my changes and why you're not, supporting me or, happy for my achievements.
Right.
The truth is, a part of them is like sitting on the sideline saying, okay, yeah, it's a wonderful thing, but we're just waiting. When is she going to screw up again?
Because waiting for the shoe to drop. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they still have that fear too. So yeah, it's real difficult.
Well, do you think that, I think this is a valid thing. When someone goes into recovery, I often think that the family should too. Not go away to rehab, but they need to go to meetings or groups or NA, whatever, for family meetings, because that kind of catches them up to speed, so that you're not stuck. You don't, went past the finish line and they're stuck back on the starting point. And it's like, well, wait a minute. So now everything you do is like counterproductive because they don't understand. They're going to keep, grilling you and asking you questions and not trusting your judgment. Which is understandable when it's fresh, but this people has been sober like 10 years. It's like 10 years of, like, I haven't did that in 10 years. Why are you still writing me? Like, and it could be kind of burdensome. I can't say the word.
No, the thing is that, okay, my own experience has been, even with my children, I see the hurt and the trauma, right? And I see that, even though I'm in a place that I'm at today and, life is good and I'm pushing forward and I'm doing some things today and I'm doing the next right thing and I'm trying to make myself available.
Right.
I see that their pain still exists for them, right? I've forgiven myself, right? But just because I've forgiven myself for the things that I have done and found some peace with it, doesn't necessarily mean that they have, right? And so it could be a real difficult balancing act because, I would get, oh, well, I've heard all there is here, you were never there for me, and you did this and you never showed up. And, and even now it's like, I feel sometimes like I'm not worthy of even giving them my opinions, because when I do, I feel like I get attacked. But there came a point where I have had to tell my children, quite a few times that, listen, I'm not going to live there with you anymore. There is, I understand, and I've apologized. I've apologized the best way that I know how to apologize. I've tried to take the necessary steps to try to form some kind of a relationship with my kids. But what I've experienced is that sometimes they're the vessel that keeps me stuck, that will take me back, or that will remind me of all those things that I did. And, I got to the point where I had to tell them, listen, and I know I've said this, I don't need you to remind me of what I did because I'm the one that did it. Right. Like, I haven't forgotten that, and it's just as painful for me, as it is for them. But I don't, and I'm not trying to measure their pain either. You know what I'm saying? But after a while, yes, it just gets to the point where you tell yourself, listen, they have their own process, right? They have their own process and they got to go through their process, however they need to get through it. I have to know when to pick and choose my battles. And I also have to learn when to walk away. And I'm still kind of working on that, right? Because sometimes I feel that they're still suspicious almost. You know what it's like for me? Let me explain this. Maybe I can say it like this. For me, it was like, just think about this. Just think about, being around your child, right? That has seen you in this vicious cycle for 30 years. And then all of a sudden, there's this other person that emerges, through recovery. And they're standing there looking at you. Basically, you're kind of reintroducing yourself to your own damn family, because they don't even know who the real you is, because you spent so many years, you know, living in that place and being this other person, you know, that's the only person they know, you know, so they know that ugly, mean, you know, conniving, you know, oh my God, you know, they know that person, but here goes this person, and they're looking at you like, you know, who the hell are you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know who you are.
Sometimes I don't think they can, I can't explain it, but they're so used to the drama that they can't accept this new character that, wait, there's nothing, wait, you're not going to go and sell this, you're not going to do that, you're not going to, and it becomes their self-fulfilling, I don't know, fantasy that they just can't let go. It's like you let go, but they literally cannot let go because they're stuck, because they were so used to living in that life of like for instance, my mom was an addict. So, you know, I was used to saying, I wonder if my mom's going to come back home. I wonder if she come back home. I wonder, I'm used to that. So, you know, I'm sure if I would have went backward, I'd be like, is she going to go out again? When she goes out to the store, I'm be like, why is she going to the store? What's over at the store? Why is she taking more than 5 minutes? I mean, it just becomes a worry wart situation for the family. And so, but the question is, how do we identify those type of people? Because even friends and family can take you hostage. So that's what I wanted people to pay attention to. You know, like how do we, you know, how can we identify these people?
Well, you know, the thing is, it's not even about identifying. At the end of the day, you know, people can say that they forgive you, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean they forget, you know? And then you have some people that say they forgive you. And, you know, the truth is that they haven't gotten past some stuff, right? So, you know, again, I think that it's about our choices today, right? You know, I am a person who's been in recovery for almost 9 years. And so I have to make some hard decisions every day. And one of those hard decisions is not to use drugs or alcohol. Okay. And that's an ongoing process. That's every day that I wake up. Okay. Because like I tell people, we only get a 24-hour reprieve, right? So that's it. You understand? At any moment, I'm subject to change my mind. And I can do that because I have that choice. But I have those same choices on who to allow in my circle and who to allow in my space. And so I have to learn how to protect my peace and my sanity, right? So that's what I practice now and I try to do. And if that means that I have to stay away from family, right? Then that's what I have to do. And some of those choices are very difficult, especially when it comes down to making those decisions about your own children, right? And so, you know, so I struggle with that. I mean, I don't have that down. You know, I'm still going through emotions with my kids, you know, and but there are some days that I just have to say, you know what? I'm not gonna do this now. I'm not enough, you know, and so it's a learning experience. You know, you learn as you go along. It's trial by error, so to speak, because I'm living a life that I've never lived before, right? I'm experiencing things that I've never experienced before. Because I've always been, you know, high. I've always medicated my feelings, my events, my situations, right? So now I'm dealing with it head on. And so this is challenging because there are some days that I want to say, you know, I get the fuckage too. I tell people, like, you know, I get the fuckage too. And, you know, and yes, I'm spiritual, you know, but then there's some days that spirituality goes out the window and then that other person comes in and I'm ready to rip your head off. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be careful too, you know, about, you know, things that I do and people that I'm around and, you know, and how I respond and react to things.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's everybody, but I think in recovery, it's a little pinch step harder until you've been in it for a while. But how do you deal with when people bring up your past? That's what I meant to ask. So if you meet, you know, you see somebody who knows you from the past and not the new person, how do you deal with that? Is there any advice you can give someone?
I mean, you know, this is what I've been doing, you know, since I've been in my process. You know, when there is an opportunity for me to make an amends to someone that I've hurt or that I've, then I do it. One of the things that I do is that I'm always open to listen, because there's a lot of people, right, that I have done things to, and believe it or not, I don't even remember. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, I might run into somebody and say, oh, you remember that time that you did? And I'm like, I really don't, right? Because I was so drug induced, right, that I don't remember a lot of the stuff, so I try to go, I take it, one person at a time, like I deal with things on an individual base. There's no set way to do it. You just have to cross that bridge kind of when you get there, but what I will say is this, that always be open-minded. You know what I'm saying? Always be open to receive what you need to receive. You don't necessarily have to respond to everything. Some things that we feel and we think of doesn't always have to be expressed through our mouth, right? And you just gotta be prepared for things. You have to be especially prepared for things that you may not want to hear.
Oh, yes.
Because we've done some things, right? And the truth, people don't like the truth. I don't care how much they say, oh, give me the truth. People don't like the truth. Okay. And when you give it to them, the first thing to do is get on the defense, right? No, I didn't do that. No, that wasn't me. And then what we tend to do is later on when we're alone, we'll think about it and we'll say, they were right. Instead of just saying, you know what, maybe you're right. Maybe, so there's no, my advice is just to be open, be willing to hear some things, be willing to be accepting of some things, don't always get your panties in a bunch, and think that, you're right about everything. You just gotta, it's just, like I said, it's just an individual kind of thing. So I don't know.
What about this? Have you ever made an achievement, like even writing your book, let's say, right? And people that you thought would recognize it and just say, oh, good job, well done. You actually completed a task, you did something. Does that ever bother you? And if so, what would you give advice to someone that was, they're thinking like, oh, I did this and I did X, Y, and Z, and maybe the person never completed something before. This is the first time they've actually went 100% through, and now everybody's like, oh yeah, whatever. It's like, what? Yeah. Wait, I need a kudos. Do you just kudos yourself, or what do you do? Like, what advice?
The advice that I would give to people is, be proud of yourself, right? Pat yourself on the back, because I think that you're your biggest cheerleader. I also believe that, not everybody is going to be, or is going to feel the way you think they should feel. Like, I think everybody should be happy for me, but that's my thought, right? That's the way I feel, right? And is it hurtful when the people that you expect to be happy for you is not happy for you? Yes, it is. It can be hurtful, but I tell myself, you know what? Like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Seriously. I mean, I'm not going to dwell. My motto is this: listen, if you're for me, be for me. Right. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not for me and you're not with me, then guess what? That's okay too, because that's your choice, right? So, you gotta learn how to just have, I think, acceptance with life is like big. You gotta learn how to accept, people for where they're at. You gotta learn how to accept that everybody is not going to like what you're doing. Everybody's not going to be happy for you. Everybody, is just, not going to feel the way that you feel. And like I said, it's okay. Doesn't mean that it's not painful, right? But that's my own stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay.
That's my own stuff. So, I learn how to, I have to give myself, and I have people that are supportive, and so I think for me, I realized that not everybody can go where God has you going, right? Like, not everybody can come with you.
Say it again.
I realized that today, where God has you going, everybody can't go. So I'm okay with that. And I find peace with that. And that's what my spirit gives me. That's what the God that I choose to listen to and follow tells me. You know, it is okay. Because where you're going, everybody can't go.
Ooh, I like that a lot. Where you're going, everybody can't go. Y'all hear that?
Really? Yeah.
That is powerful stuff. Very powerful. Pretty much, I guess. What was my next question? Oh, it's guilt. So when people, when you first was in recovery, people tried to guilt you, or bring you down, or were not supportive, you got through with God and with just keeping your own self-confidence and the few people that you did have.
Absolutely. Well, you know, I am so grateful for, you know, the people that God put in my life when I needed them to be there, you know, and I think that everything happens in God's time, right? So even though I may have not had the support that I thought I should have had, see, God sent an army for me to hold me up and to love me when I wasn't able to love myself, right? And they loved me and took me, you know, in until I was able to love myself, you know? So, you know, we find support in places that we couldn't even imagine sometimes. Like these were strangers. These were people that I did not even know, you know, until I walked in that door of recovery. And the love and the patience and the compassion and the empathy that they showed me was just so like, and I still hold that. Like that still keeps me going till this day, you know? So, you know, don't always look at, you know, your brother or your mother or your sister or your father or your kids give you that, you know, what you think you may need from them. You know, sometimes we get it from places that have nothing to do with family, that have nothing to do with anybody else. Because what I believe is sometimes they're not even equipped to give it to us.
Absolutely. You know? Yes.
God gives us and sends us people that are equipped with the knowledge and the understanding of the disease that we have, right? Yeah. So, you know, I'm just blessed and I'm grateful, you know, and you know, I couldn't even ask for anything more, you know, and like I said, they're my family. We might not be blood family, but they're my family.
Yes.
You know? Absolutely. Absolutely.
I call them your angels.
Absolutely. And listen, family is not always blood, right?
No, and I tell foster youth this, and you know, I ended up in foster care and doing addiction work because my mother was an addict. So I was a child of an addict, which is almost like being an addict, pretty much. Do the same, absolutely. You know, oh, she's going to get high. Okay, well, let's see. Got to worry about she's coming back, and when's she going to go? Oh, I think she's in that mood. I don't know. You know, you go through the ups and downs with them.
Yep.
So I got into this field because I just thought, you know what, somebody's got to do it. And I was sick of seeing traditional counseling. It was another thing. I just felt like these people don't know what they're doing. But you know, I'm just glad that when I see people like you, I think, wow, God is so good, man. God is so good. So I'm so happy that someone has their mom back, even if they don't appreciate it and they can't see it. I can tell them firsthand what that's like, not to have her back. My mom passed away from her addiction at 42 years old.
Wow, I'm so sorry to hear that.
No, it's okay. God does, like you said, he does everything for a reason. And I believe that sometimes your parents are only a vehicle to get you here. Doesn't mean they're going to carry you through. So with that being said, I can identify with you in the sense that, you know, we never know where our angels are coming from. He sends us, many of them, to carry us through this journey that we have to go through. So I'm proud of you. I call her my sister girl from another mother because it's amazing work you're doing. This book, you guys got to go out and get it on Amazon. Unbreakable Me, Still I Rise. Oh, powerful stuff, honey boy. That is powerful. I mean, just the words, unbreakable. Like people don't know. Like right now, it's hard out here for a lot of people, and don't have some source higher than yourself, like God or the universe, whatever you want to call it, you got problems.
Yes.
So I wanted you to come today because I love for my viewers to feel empowered, to feel like I can do this, or to just to hear from people who've been there, done that, and still doing it. I know you're no one's perfect. We're not perfect.
Absolutely.
But the fact that you're putting one foot in front of the other every day and saying, I'm going to, get out of this. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make this happen. And for you to do your book, girl, and someone publish your book, girl, you did that. You did that.
Well, you know what? I think that my biggest thing is that I just want to encourage women who have been through what I've been through, who maybe even still going through it, right? Because sometimes we need a seed. We need something planted in us, and I think that for me, I think my mission now is to encourage people, especially women, right? That no matter what they've been through, no matter what they've done,
right?
No matter what it is, they are still worthy to live.
Absolutely.
and to be happy, and to have a life.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we go through stuff. And you know what? And it is what it, I always say, there's nothing that we go through that hasn't already been written. This is our lesson. This is our teaching, right? Sometimes people get through, and sometimes God has another agenda for them. You understand? And I just want women to know that no matter what they go through, no matter what they've been through, listen, you can do this, right? Recovery and healing, it is possible. Listen, this is possible. It's reachable, right? You can do this, and you got people. And listen, you don't have to do this alone.
Nope.
Right? You don't have to do this alone.
Nope.
There are people like me all over the world who has been through stuff like this that are ready to reach out and grab you and love on you until you're able to love on yourself, right?
Yes.
You don't have to do this alone, and you don't have to suffer in silence anymore.
Well, how can people reach you if they need to reach you? And I know you're available for speaking engagements as well. And I know you just recently started a nonprofit. I know you're going to try to get that up running very soon too. So
yeah.
Congratulations. A lot of stuff, what's the point of going through something if you ain't going to go back and help somebody else?
Yeah. Right? Today it's about this is about service, baby.
It's about all of them.
It's about service. Listen, we can say, yeah, I would love to make a whole lot of money doing this and doing that and doing this. But at the end of the day, right, it's about service. It's about reaching across the aisle and giving back what was so freely given to you.
To us.
Right?
Woo, girl, you better preach.
Because what we got, we didn't buy this, right? We didn't pay for this, right? We lived this, right? So what we got in return, the thing that we got in order for us to be able to continue to live our life, this was a freebie, right? I got this for free. I didn't pay for this, right? No. So why would I charge for it, right? Why would I tell you, oh, I gotta, no. Right. Listen, God put it in my heart that, look, I'm not going to say that, people ain't got to eat and you ain't got to, everybody want to be rich, But my point is this. I think that the reward in this is when you're giving from the heart.
Yes. And saving a life.
You're saving a life.
Saving and changing a life. That's everything.
You can't put a price on it.
Nope, absolutely.
There is no price.
Yeah, if you're doing the right thing, the money will come eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, it's like saving lives, right? Because that is what this is about. This is about saving lives.
That's it. That's what it's about. Yep. Nothing we go through, and I know the time is gone already. Can you believe it? I told you half an hour ago. So quick. I know. God. Someone said, you need to make your show an hour. I was like, you got some sponsors for me?
Yeah, you do.
But it is about saving lives. That is the only, all this stuff that we have, the shoes and the laptops and the fancy houses and the fancy cars. Oh, they're so great. I love all the convenience of it. But guess what? It is not going to go with me when I die. Only thing that people will remember you by is what have you done for the universe.
That's
Period.
right.
That's
and here's
it.
another thing too. You can't enjoy none of those things if your ass is crazy, right? You know, I mean, how do you enjoy, you know, I mean, it's like, you know, where's the real joy and fulfillment, you know, if you're nuts, like if you're just like not in the world, like if you're not, you know, doing things to lift your spirit. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have all those things, but if that's all you have and there's nothing else,
that's it.
Then are you really living a full life? Like, are you really getting out of life what God intends you to, you know, have, you know? So I don't know. I just, you know, again, this is something, like I said, is just, it is. It's about saving lives. It's about lifting spirits. You know, it's about letting people know, listen, you're not alone.
Nope.
And you're worthy.
That's it.
You know, you are worthy to live a happy,
healthy life,
prosperous, healthy life. You are
sober. On God's, on life terms, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. Well, thank you so much for being a guest. I want you to hang out with me for a minute while I end this. I appreciate all of you guys out here. I can't see who's out there because something's going on with this crazy internet of mine. So usually I can see who's on, but I can't see who's. I see somebody's. I see you're out there, but I don't know who it is. So, Grandma, I know you're out there. Our biggest fan, Grandma Norma. Woo woo. Jen might be out there. Emma, I don't know who's out there. I can't see you guys, Betty.
Oh my God, you can't see nobody.
I just want to tell you guys thank you for watching, and please spread the message that we are all here to help somebody else. That's why we're here. We're not here really for ourselves. It looks like it. You know, these earrings are cute and this little hair or whatever is cute. Yes, but today, we're not going to talk about that, are we? But the real truth is, I don't care about none of this.
Right.
Because it can all be taken away in 5 minutes, people. 5 minutes, it can be gone. And what will you be saying about me tomorrow if I'm gone? What will you be saying? I hope that you'll say, she tried to help, save, or change your life. That's my motto. Okay. With that being said, guys, I'm going to end on a song. You know, I got to plug my daughter, Tatiana.
Yeah, go girl.
Plug it. So I'm going to end it with that in our little ending, and we'll be it. You hang out with me, Elizabeth, for a minute, okay?
Will.
Bye, guys. I'll see you guys on Saturday with 5 Black Comics. What are we talking about? Oh, I'll get back to you on that, but we'll be there 5 o'clock, same time. I'm still out in the UK. Loving you.
Thank you.
I want to come back, but I got to come back. Immigration won't let me stay. But hold up. Here it is. Ready? I'm already